Alright guys, welcome back to the Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough, Indiana Jones style. Right off the bat, we are going to acquire Avalon, the beautiful Avalon, the updated crossbow that's going to pretty much replace our regular light crossbow. So there is a trick to getting this the easy way, and that's what I'm going to show you guys. There is a hard way to get it, and it's just a pain in the ass, and we're not going to do it that way. It's a bit of a trick you have to do. I didn't really know about this. Credit goes to Gray for Gaming. I saw their YouTube channel and I saw this trick and I said, hey, this is a pretty damn good trick. So we're going to use it here. I will leave their channel link in the description. Give them credit for this trick here. So what you have to do basically is when you pause the game, you actually are essentially creating a restart point. Not a save point, but a restart point. So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate that by turning this staircase over here, and we're going to stop and we're going to pause it into the menu here. Once we pause it there, that's where we're going to appear when we restart. But we have to move the staircase back. So we're going to move the staircase back, and as soon as it's in position, we're going to save and quit out. Once we quit out here, we're just going to reload, and we're going to appear where we hit the start button. But it's different because we moved the staircase. See, the staircase is on the other side. So now we can simply walk off the ledge here and get to the chest. However, as soon as you land, start healing immediately. You're going to get bombarded by arrows, and if the Chandlers buff them, you're going to die instantly. So it's really a race to the chest. Open the chest and get the hell out of there. Really is no point in saving any souls. If you can try to make sure you use all of your souls in humanity before going for Avalon, because it's very likely you're going to die. I thought I could be cheeky and run away, but as you can see, enemy came out of nowhere and ended my life. So make sure that you use all of your humanity and souls before going for it. Normally the way you get Avalon is you have to turn the staircase, and as it's moving you have to time it just right to fall onto the bookcase, but it's very tricky to do, and it's just much easier to use this trick. So that's what we did. Now we want to upgrade Avalon as soon as possible because we want to start using it as soon as possible. So we're going to just use our Guardian Soul here. There's no other purpose but to use it for souls. Like I said, there's no weapon attached to it. You have to get the tail for that, which we discussed in the last video. Now, we didn't have enough resources here. I thought I had enough to just go ahead and upgrade Avalon all the way to plus 15. However, I didn't realize I didn't have enough resources. So I did have to go off camera and farm some Titanite chunks. But I edited all that out. But we did have to go to Framp to get some large Titanite pieces as well. But right here, I kind of didn't realize I didn't have enough resources. But we want to upgrade Avalon as soon as possible because it's our main boss killer going forward. Well, not all the bosses. We're not going to use it against Gwen or anything, but we are going to use it against Calamite. We're going to use it against Manus. We're going to use it against the Fire Demon Sage. We're going to use it against the Fire Centipede. So we're going to use it quite a bit. And it's good to kill regular enemies with as well. It does a lot more damage than the regular crossbow. Now, it might be a little bit of overkill if you're trying to kill like the little bugs in Blighttown. Then you might want to switch back to the regular light crossbow because Avalon will shoot 3 bolts at once, which will chew through your ammo quickly. However, since we're not really investing much in dex and strength right now, we can afford to spend a great deal of souls on ammo. And at this point, ammunition will be more valuable to you than upgrading your dex or your strength. Now the reason being is for the boss fights we're going to mainly be using Avalon. So Avalon does not scale with anything. It's raw damage from upgrading, and once you get that plus the Leo ring, you will be doing more than enough damage to kill the bosses efficiently. One thing I failed to mention before going for Avalon as well, make sure you equip the blue Tearstone ring and the ring of steel protection just to help you get through that barrage of arrows. You could see when I fell on the bookcase I was nearly dead. I think the ring saved me a few times, so make sure to equip those rings. Now back to the Duke's Archives. We are going to open up the shortcut in Duke's Archives, and then we're going to continue Sigmar's quest. Again, there's no point in fighting these enemies. You want to go to the very top of the stairs, and you want to turn the staircase again. This is where we got Evelyn, but we're going to go to the very top, and then we're going to go down the hall and get to the other staircase. There's another set of stairs guarded by a Chandler, and that's where we want to go. So you want to come up. Here's where we got Evelyn. So we're just going to turn it again and go to the top. The very, very top. This is the top of Duke's Archives. You can't go any higher than this. Again, just run. Try to do... If you face the archer, you can actually see when he releases the arrow, and you can just easily move out of the way. You will have to kill a few in the hallway, though. They just kind of bottleneck it. Now, there's a Chandler here. Just drop down and turn this staircase one more time on this one, and you're going to go down. There's an opening off here to the right, and you want to immediately go down this ladder here, and as soon as you reach the bottom, just hit this lever, and that will open up the shortcut. So no matter what happens from here on out, you will have opened up the shortcut, which is huge. So it's right next to the bonfire. So right here, there's a mimic off to the right. We don't want to fight it. There's no advantage to us fighting this mimic since we're not going for the mimic hat. But right here, we definitely want to get this, the Crystal Ember. This is what we're going to use to kill the final boss, a Crystal Cestus. As I mentioned before, crystal weapons will break. So it's a resource that will deplete. It's not a weapon that you're going to be able to keep forever. So we're going to use it on the final boss since it does the most raw damage. However, we're not going to waste a slab on it. We're going to get it to +4. Now there's some prism stones off that I didn't get right there. And that's very helpful if you're going for the blue Titanite slab in the crystal caves. But we're not going to go for that. Just walk off the ledge here. And this is the toughest golem you will have faced yet. The golden golem, but this time he's a lot more. He's got a lot more health or something because it takes a good while to kill him. So don't underestimate him. He is imprisoning Siglind, Sigmar's daughter. So you want to make sure you save her because this is the only way to continue Sigmar's quest. You have to get her out of the crystal golem, and the only way to do that is to kill him. So gotta kill the crystal golem. The whip isn't going to do much damage to him. If that's why I wanted to upgrade Evelyn and take him out with it, but I didn't have enough resources, so I had to rely on my crossbow and whip at the time. I even tried to use my fists thinking that would be a better option, but he's just got a lot more health this time. I think much like the Titanite demons, which get harder as the more you kill. I think the same thing applies. And I think the blue tier stone ring saved me again right there. I think the same thing applies to the golden golems. So this is the second one you'll fight. But he's got a buttload of health this time. It's just easier to just snipe him from distance. Now once he's dead, make sure you do not hit Siglind. I think that's her name, Siglind or something. So make sure you answer yes. You have to exhaust her dialogue. Make sure you hit yes. Now as soon as this is over, immediately warp back to Firelink. You want to make sure you continue the Sigmar's quest immediately. So as soon as you get to the bonfire, just make sure you exhaust the dialogue again. Alright, so here she is. Make sure you talk to her and exhaust all of her dialogue. And of course, make sure you say yes to her. Now once you've exhausted all of her dialogue, Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade Avalon as much as we can, but here's where I realized I didn't have enough resources to upgrade Avalon all the way, so I had to go off camera to get enough resources. Got to farm some Titanite chunks from the New Londo ruins, but I still was short to get it to plus 10, so I had to go to Frampt here. And you can go to Frampt to get certain chunks or pieces if you need. But never feed him a slab. Always make sure what you're highlighting before you give him something, because I've actually given him a slab before and realized my mistake, and it's a terrible thing to know that you just wasted a slab when you were just trying to get a chunk. So feed him one chunk and you can get 3 large Titanite shards, and for me that would be enough to get to 10. But we need to go to Andre to ascend it to plus 11. Once we get it to plus 10, then we can get it to plus 11 and then to 15. So because we picked up the Crystal Ember, Andre says he can't do anything with it here. So we got to give that to the giant blacksmith in Anor Londo to get the crystal weapons. Now here I didn't know what I was doing. I was fumbling in the menus thinking where's my Avalon, and I didn't realize I had upgraded at plus 10, which means it's going to be in Modify, not in Forge. And I just sat here thinking, what did I do with it? Then I was like, oh, I'm just an idiot. I was like, yeah, there it is, right there. Like, so you had to hit Modify, and there it is. So we're going to get it to plus 11, then we're going to ascend it. Well, we'll ascend it to plus 11, then we're going to get it to plus 15. And that is the max we can do. Now we have a fully upgraded Avalon. Now we're going to waste 55,900 souls on 559 bolts because reasons. Go ahead and equip Avalon. It's a bit heavier than the light crossbow, so you're going to have a little bit of extra weight toting around, but it's worth it. And we never really invested in endurance at all, so luckily we don't have any heavy armor as well as heavy weapons. Our whip doesn't weigh hardly anything, and neither does the cestus, so most of the weight we're carrying is going to be from Avalon. Now, we are on our way to the Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith, probably the most poorly designed areas in all of Dark Souls. First, we want to make sure we are human because we have to get invaded by Kirk for a second time. As you remember, the last time we fought Kirk was in the depths. We have to fight him 2 more times, and both of them are pretty close to each other. One is in the Demon Ruins, and the other is in Lost Izalith. So we're going to fight him 2 times in this video. The first one's coming up, and the second one will be at the end, near the end of the video. So we want to make sure we equip the Leo ring because we're going to be using Avalon now. And whenever you're using Avalon, you want to make sure the Leo ring is equipped because you can get the most out of it if you do a counterattack. And the counterattack is kind of iffy. You have to time it as the enemy is attacking and is still in their attack animation. With larger enemies that take longer to recover from their attacks, it's a lot easier to get the benefit. Especially with enemies like the boss like Amanus, who takes forever to wind up his attacks and has a long recovery time. And the same with some of the enemies as well. Like coming up, we're going to demonstrate it for the first time here on the Capper Demon. Well, not the real Capper Demon that we fought earlier. These are like knockoffs. Be careful when you fall down here. You'll lose a bit of health. We also want to have the Hornet Ring equipped for when we attack Kirk next. Because we could almost one-shot him with the Hornet Ring at this point. If our dex was a little bit higher, we could probably one-shot him with 1 parry riposte, but we don't have that much strength yet. So, here is the Capper Demon. We're going to fight him with the Avalon. So wait for him to attack, and Put him right in there. 447 damage for one attack. And 176 for a regular attack. See how the difference is? When he attacked, I got 400 something damage, and a regular attack was only like 100 something. So you see how the Leo ring is incredibly important for boss fights. You can do a lot more damage. Plus we hit him in the head as well. Now come all the way down here to the bottom of this ramp and get ready to get invaded. Get about down here and you'll just wait. And he should be appearing soon. There he is. So go all the way up to the top again. One parry riposte should pretty much kill him. So just wait for him to attack. And he's pretty much going to be dead after this. We're just going to hit him once with a straight. And that'll knock him out. Boom. We've gotten a lot stronger since the last time we fought him. So, like I said, again, he has random drops. His shield and his sword are random drops. You're not guaranteed to get them, though. The higher your humanity, the better your chances. So there's the sword, but of course we're not going to use it. So here, I don't like fighting all these Capra demons that are so poorly placed. I don't know, it looks like a child developed this level because, I mean, he's just, they placed them in such weird positions here. So we're just going to go down here. And we're going to fight this worm thing. It takes a few more shots. We're not doing any kind of counterattacks. We're just going to pump him full. And we're going to fight the boss next. And the boss is very similar to the stray demon that we fought. But this time we're not using the red tearstone ring, so we're going to have no health. These guys here, these turds here, fossilized turds they are referred to, they are going to go down easy with the whip. Just 2 hits from the whip will take them out if you're two-handing the whip. And I recommend this is the way you attack them. Here we're just going to run. There's going to be a big demon in front of you. I'm not even sure what these things are called. But they can cause a lot of damage. And again, they're easy to kill with Avalon plus the Leo ring as well. But right now we're just going to the boss fog wall to take on the Fire Demon Sage, which is a very lazy copy and paste job. This is the 3rd time we fought this guy, but this time he's on fire. Whoop-de-doo. So here I was one-handing the whip because I wanted to have Avalon ready at any time. He will do the same attacks as all the other demons that you fought. The one in the tutorial and the stray demon. Again, it's the AoE attack that you need to be aware of. Because if you're not coming in and out of lock-on, and here's where you're going to use the Leo ring as he's doing his butt stomp. Just time it as he's coming down. You'll get a nice 336 out of it. Here's where you got to be careful. You see how I'm locked on? I can't quite get around him. If you are locked on, and I mentioned this during the stray demon fight, if you're locked on to him, and he's about to do that AoE attack, you better go unlock onto him because if you don't deactivate lock-on, as I did it again here, I didn't have enough time, and you see you're going to get hit by that AoE every single time. So make sure you deactivate lock-on. And again, I didn't have enough distance. You can see my mistakes here can help you out. Don't do what I just did those last couple of times. You got to make sure you get in and out of lock-on. And if he does this thing where he likes to get close to the wall, he's pretty much screwing you over. Because you can't get around him. And you'll see he does it here in a minute. You always want to make sure you can run past him. And right here, if he does that, back off from him and don't engage. Because he's just going to do his AoE and there's nothing you can do. I can't get around him, as you can see. It's a very cheeky way of him screwing you over here. And I actually got hit by another one. So, treat this guy like the stray demon, but I was a little careless in this fight. I didn't take it seriously enough because I knew I didn't have the red tearstone ring on, and I didn't have to be perfect. So, again, you'll get more damage if you use the Leo ring. And also make sure you're using your large bolts. And this guy is deader than dead. Again, we're going to try to use our Silver Serpent Ring to get the maximum amount of souls every time we kill a boss. it takes a minute for it to pop up. So now that he is dead, we're going to open up the shortcut, a very important shortcut, from the Daughters of Chaos Bonfire to the Demon Ruins. This is an extremely important shortcut because it gives you access, quick access to Lost Izalith, and another shortcut. If you were to save Solaire, you could open up the shortcut that leads into the back way to Lost Izalith, but we're not going to do that. You can access the shortcut even if you don't save Solaire. If you just go to where it is and you touch the wall on the back side, it will open up. Kind of like opening the door on the other side, but you have access to the doorknob. There's a soul item here you can get. God, I love this thing. So efficient to kill these enemies. So you just keep going all the way till you get to the elevator, and that will take you back to the Daughters of Chaos Bonfire. Right here. Now that it's open, you'll have quick access. And if you want to farm Demon Titanite later, you'll have to have this shortcut to do it efficiently. So we're going to go ahead and rest at this bonfire, and then we're going to go kill the next boss, the Centipede Demon. Another poorly designed boss in a poorly designed battle arena. It's filled with lava, and we don't have the ring to walk on lava yet because it's acquired from killing the Centipede Demon's tail, or killing the Centipede Demon anyway, and you'll get it. But we're going to summon Solaire one final time here. We won't see him again after this because he's going to go hollow after this because we didn't save him. It was unnecessary for our playthrough, but you can save him if you do certain steps. You have to open up the shortcut by going into... You have to give the Daughters of Chaos 30 humanity, and we didn't want to do that, so be careful of these fire guys, man. They can really... If you don't have good fire armor, man, they can really burn through your life really quick. But yeah, we didn't open that shortcut up because we didn't want to waste 30 humanity to save Solaire. But like I said, we're still going to have access to that shortcut after the fact. But Solaire is quite useful for this fight because he gives a good distraction, and he can walk in lava for some reason. I'm sure he's losing health at the same time, but yeah, he's going to give us a good little diversion. And if you're not human, you can go ahead and reverse hollowing here at this bonfire. But we're already human, so we don't have to do that. Again, make sure you have the Leo ring equipped. And we're also going to equip the red steel protection ring because he has physical attacks. He can do quite a bit of damage with his tail and his little centipede arms that he likes to shoot out all the time. So a little bit of extra protection will never hurt. However, if you do have the flame ring, you might want to put it on here just so you don't die from getting to the spot we're going to try to get to. We didn't get it. It's in Sin's Fortress, but we didn't pick it up. But we can still get to the spot we need to get to without the ring. As long as your health is high enough and your armor is a little bit flame resistant. For example, if you use the gold hem set, you will definitely be able to make it across without dying. We don't have that, so we're using Indiana Jones's outfit. So right here, jump across, you'll lose a bit of health. Here I probably should have healed, but I didn't. And this will go to show you how quickly the lava can kill you. Try to do a quick jump. Oh man, that was close. There's some green titanite here if you need it. We are going to craft a divine weapon for the catacombs. Now here you can use the binoculars. He's interested in Solaire right now, so we can take advantage of this and just start pumping him full right now before he even gets in position. He takes a while to get to you. And it's very easy to hit him with the binoculars because he's such a huge target. And you're still going to do damage to him. Now here's his arm attack. Physical attack there. And he'll do this jump in the air with his tail. Now here's where you want to start using Avalon because he takes a long time to recover from his attacks. Right here, I took his tail off right there very easily. You can just kind of get rid of the tail real quick. It's kind of its own entity. We got it. We got the ring. You just see how much damage that Evelyn will do with the Leo ring on this boss. You just see the raw power. Again, you want to make sure that he's attacking or in the process of attacking, and then immediately counterattack. See, I didn't do it there. I only got 200. 381 there. That's good. Again, equip the silver ring, and make sure you equip the new ring you got for walking on lava, because the floor is literally lava here, and the only way to get across it is to use the ring. This ring was actually Ceaseless Discharge's way of lessening his pain. Very sad story in Dark Souls. There's no happy endings really in Dark Souls, or happy stories, to be honest. But yeah, this ring will allow you to walk on lava. You'll still lose a bit of health, but you will be able to get through it without dying. So now we're just going to make our way to the boss Fogwall, but we're not going to fight the boss. We're going to kill Kirk for the third and final time, and there's Slayer off to the left there, depressed. You see him like this, and you pretty much know he's going to hollow soon. So our objective here is to kill Kirk for the third and final time, but we also need to continue Sigmar's quest, and this is the most important part of the quest because it's the hardest part and it's the easiest part to screw up. It's quite glitchy as well. You can screw it up and it won't even be your fault. Alright, let's talk about it for a bit. So Sigmar is standing on a ledge and he's overlooking 4 Chaos Eaters. Now, he wants to sacrifice himself because of all the help you've given him. However, you have to have him live through this encounter. So, instead of just talking to him and letting him go down there with 4 Chaos Eaters to kill, you can help him kill the Chaos Eaters, but it's very likely you will hit him in the process of trying to kill the Chaos Eaters, which in turn will screw it up because you'll have to get absolution from Oswald, and it's a big whole thing. So, and very likely he will die. So, here's what you do. You're going to kill 3 of the 4 Chaos Eaters, but you're going to injure the 4th Chaos Eater, but not kill it. This way, when Sigmar jumps down, he only has to hit it once and it will die. Again, however, Sigmar is on a quest to die and sacrifice himself, so he is going to look for any enemy in the vicinity. So he'll run off and he'll even fall in pits and kill himself. So it's really, you have to be very careful in this final part here and make sure you exhaust his dialogue before he runs off and falls into a pit like an idiot. And he will do that, as you'll see in this encounter. He nearly does kill himself. So you have to be very aware of that. Right here, when you drop off, you want to make sure you hit this illusionary wall. It's a very important bonfire, especially if you're planning on farming any fire shards or red titanite slabs, because this is the best way to do it. So right here, this is basically your farming path, but we're not going to be farming anything. But this is basically the path that you have to take to get to the boss anyway, unless you're coming in from the backside, which we're not doing that right now. We're not going to engage in any of the fossilized turds anymore. We're just going to run past them until we get to 2 NPCs that we have to kill. The first NPC that you're going to encounter is one of the witches of Izalith. She's going to attack you as soon as you get up to the top of the staircase leading to the bed of chaos. And then Kirk will invade you as you're fighting her, so it's important to kill her as quickly as possible. And for that, we're going to use Evelyn to make very quick work of this enemy. And then we're going to kill Kirk, and we're going to be able to continue Sigmar's quest after that. So right up here is your first encounter with a Chaos Eater. Now, they drop Titanite slabs of the red variety, the red Titanite slabs. Very important if you're going for fire weaponry, which we're not. And they also drop red Titanite chunks. A better drop rate for that, but right here he doesn't drop anything. And this is also the enemy that you have to save Sigmar from. So right here, when you turn to the right, to the top of these stairs, you want to make sure we got the some extra protection here. Now, we're not going to have to really worry about the Witch of Izalith because we're going to kill her so quickly she won't be able to do anything. Avalon 1, Avalon 2. And that's it. Game over. Now, she'll drop the Izalith Catalyst. Now, here's Kirk for the final time. We're just going to backstab him to death. We don't have the Hornet Ring equipped, so we're not going to be doing as much damage. But after this encounter, that will be the last. And we'll finally be able to get the spiked gauntlets that we've been coveting since the beginning. And he's dead. You won't get them from a drop here. You have to go back to the Daughters of Chaos bonfire in order to get the set. Which we will do right after we get Sigmar saved. So we want to make sure we have the Rusted Iron Ring equipped because we're going into some sludge here. And we got to have good mobility to save Sigmar. Definitely want to have that. And I have the Ring of Steel Protection equipped as well. So you want to go down this trunk here. Again, don't engage any enemies. Just go down the trunk and stick to the left. The floor will give way, but if you stick far enough to the left, you will be on the trunk, as I am right here. You're just going to follow this trunk all around until you get to Sigmar. Don't talk to him just yet. We need to deal with the Chaos Eaters first. So there's 4 of them. You can't engage in a lock-on here because they're too far away. So in order to kill them, you have to use the binoculars. Here, I was wondering why I couldn't use the lock-on. It's like, well, I guess I can't use it. So, binoculars it is. I usually work from left to right. And they're such a big target, you'll hit them every time. It'll take 2 shots to kill 1. So we're going to kill 3 of the 4 and shoot the last one once. And we'll let Sigmar deal with it so he'll kill it. We really don't want to fight too much down here because if we hit Sigmar, it's bad news because then he's going to turn on us. And then we have to get Absolution again. We don't want to do that. Now, be very careful. Do not kill this final one. Shoot it once and only once. That's it. No more. Now, exhaust his dialogue. Now when he says don't be slow, just jump off. Now you can see he takes a while to jump off. Run away from the Chaos Eater, and as he jumps down he should kill it. But right here, he's looking for any other enemies, and there's another Chaos Eater and you have to take it out. Right here. Make sure he doesn't die from this Chaos Eater. I recommend using the Cestus because it's short range and it won't hit Sigmar. Now you see, if you don't exhaust his dialogue, he'll run into a pit. Immediately start talking to him until he starts sleeping again. He was aimed right for that pit and that would ruin it. So once that's done, you've pretty much finished the quest. You can't mess it up anymore. Unless, of course, you kill Siglind, which she's the one that gives you the slab. So as long as you don't kill her, you can't screw it up anymore. So we want to go back to Firelink and talk to Siglind to advance the quest for the final time. Make sure you exhaust her dialogue. She'll mention that he went on his final adventure. Once you hear that, you're good to go. Let's warp back to the Daughters of Chaos bonfire and retrieve our coveted Thorned Gauntlets, which will complete our entire set that we're going to use for this walkthrough. We are essentially done collecting items and weapons. This is the final piece. There will be a corpse here. Now, because we can't reinforce armor at the bonfire, because we didn't buy the kit that allows us to do such, We have to go back to Andre in order to upgrade the Gauntlet of Thorns to +5. Now, you will have enough Twinkling Titanite since you've killed all the crystal lizards in the game. You should have at least enough to get this to +5. Now, we can't get our armor to +5 yet that we got from Chester, Marvelous Chester, but we can farm some clams later on in the crystal caves to get that if we need to. There's no sense in spending 8,000 souls per Twinkling Titanite at this point in the game. Now, let's go to Andre. We can upgrade the gauntlets to +5. Now, I came up one Twinkling Titanite short, so I only get it to +4. Well, actually, I came 2 short. Now, I'm buying the armor kit now and the Crest of Artorias, because later we have to get to Sith, and it's just a quicker way to get to it. But that's going to be the third to final boss that we fight. It'll be a while. Alright guys, that is it for part 11 of the Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough. See you guys in part 12.